unexpressed emotions will never die. They are buried alive and will come forth later in uglier ways. Being entirely honest with oneself is a good exercise. Words have a magical power. They can either bring the greatest happiness or the deepest despair. One day, in retrospect, the years of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful. We don't choose each other at random. We meet only those who already exist in our subconscious. The only person with whom you have to compare ourselves is that you in the past. And the only person better you should be, this is who you are now. The goal of all life is death. Most people do not really want freedom, because freedom involves responsibility, and most people are frightened of responsibility. Where does a thought go when it's forgotten? In the small matters, trust the mind. In the large ones, the heart. Love and work are the cornerstones of our humanness. Maturity is the ability to postpone gratification. So psychiatry is the art of teaching people how to stand on their own feet while reclining on couches. From error to error, one discovers the entire truth. The voice of reason is small, but very persistent. It is not attention that the child is seeking, but love. I prefer the company of animals more than the company of humans. Certainly a wild animal is cruel, but to be merciless is the privilege of civilized humans. All family life is organized around the most damaged person in it. The voice of the intellect is a soft one, but it does not rest until it has gained a hearing. A strong egoism is a protection. There is a powerful force within us, an unilluminated part of the mind, separate from the conscious mind, that is constantly at work, molding our thoughts, feelings, and actions. When inspiration does not come to me, I go halfway to meet it. The madman is a dreamer awake. Poets are masters of us ordinary men, in knowledge of the mind, because they drink at streams which we have not yet made accessible to science. Dreams are often most profound when they seem the most crazy. History is just new people making old mistakes. The dream is the liberation of the spirit from the pressure of external nature, a detachment of the soul from the fetters of matter. Were we fully to understand the reasons for other people's behavior, it would all make sense. The news that reaches your consciousness is incomplete and often not to be relied on. Turn your eyes inward, look into your own depths, learn first to know yourself. Words and magic were in the beginning one and the same thing, and even today, words retain much of their magical power. A civilization which leaves so large a number of its participants unsatisfied and drives them into revolt neither has nor deserves the prospect of a lasting existence. Knowledge is the intellectual manipulation of carefully verified observations. It might be said of psychoanalysis that if you give it your little finger, it will soon have your whole hand. The more perfect a person is on the outside, the more demons they have on the inside. And if you want to endure life, prepare yourself for death. A hero is a man who stands up manfully against his father and in the end victoriously overcomes him. The first human who hurled an insult instead of a stone was the founder of civilization. We are never so vulnerable as when we love, and never so hopelessly unhappy as when we lose the object of our love. Beauty has no obvious use, nor is there any clear cultural necessity for it, yet civilization could not do without it. The goal towards which the pleasure principle impels us, of becoming happy, is not attainable. Yet we may not, nay, cannot, give up the efforts to come nearer to realization of it by some means or other. Civilized society is perpetually menaced with disintegration through this primary hostility of men towards one another. Civilized people have exchanged some part of their chances of happiness for a measure of security. Analogies, it is true, decide nothing, but they can make one feel more at home. I cannot face the idea of life without work. What would one do when ideas failed or words refused to come? It is impossible not to shudder at the thought.